Welcome to Cartoon Academy. We're about to embark on a high sea adventure. Let's set sail and see what we shall see. There's something fishy going on under the sea. We're drawing a shark and a few of his friends. Let's draw. We're going to start with the brow above the shark's eye. Come down, in, and then just split a line right there. Around and up, and add the pupil. For the other brow, out, up, and same thing. Around and connect. Let's add another pupil right here. Now we're going to bring a line across the top and another one across the top. I'm going to add the dorsal fin. Up, point, and down. Another line right like so to add a little bit of depth and dimension. Now we're going to finish back here at the eye, come out and up to finish off the mouth, add a dash, and a dash. Down and in. Add a fin, which is just sort of a letter V. Now we're going to bring that around for the body. And then we're going to start back up here and bring it down and meet, leaving a little bit of a gap to add in that tail fin. And another fin right here. And then just a couple little lines for some shading. Another fin, which is just a letter V. And then the teeth, also letter V. V, letter V. Keep it going till it turns into a bunch of little W's all the way up. Good. One, two lines on the snout, and then gills. 1, 2, 3. We're going to add another character right over here. We're going to draw a seahorse. I'm going to start with a circle and the letter C. Period and period. You know, you'll notice that on almost all my drawings, the eyes look pretty similar. This is called my style. Each artist has their own style, their own technique, their own special way of drawing that makes them who they are. Your style is really a combination of all your influences, all the artists you admired, copied, and imitated growing up. Slowly, their style begins to fade, and your style begins to emerge. I had a lot of influences growing up. I was a big fan of Charles M. Schulz and Walt Kelly and Karl Barks. Those were all my favorite artists. And while you don't see a lot of their style in my work, I assure you, their work was a big influence on who I am today. We're going to continue through with the snout. Over, down, up, and around. Add a little dash in the corner there. Now for the back. Starting halfway up this eye, come down and in, around, curl for the tail, around, back in, and then we come out real far and back in for the belly. From here to here, a line for the underbelly, and 1, 2, maybe 3 lines. Eyebrows. 1, 2, fill those in. On the back, we're going to draw some small little rectangles sticking up. I'm going to do a few of those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect those with little arches like so. There we go. We're going to add one more character down here. We're going to add a crab. We'll start with the eyes. Oval. Oval. He looks a little bit crabby already. A line down and down, down and down. Over connect. Up to a point. Round, point, and in. For the mouth, a little bit of a frown. And over, fill that in. Quick little dash for the chin. You know, crabs never share. They're very shellfish. Now the claws. Line over and down. Up, around, zigzag, out, to a point, back in. Come down, same thing on the other side. Our crab is symmetrical. Whatever's on the left is on the right. It's like a mirror image. Down, up, down and up, round and zigzag, and the lower half of the claw. Now the feet or legs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now for a little bit of the environment or ground surface. We've got the sand at the bottom, leaving a few gaps. Maybe we'll add some seaweed or kelp. Put a little bit of coral over here. And then a little bit of texture to that, just little dots. Get another little piece of coral over here. It can be any shape, it's just sort of a blob shape to it. Very easy. And a sponge over here. Looks sort of like a rock, but then we're going to add some little holes in that, like so. There we go. That is our scene. Be sure to sign your name. Take pride in your work. Thanks so much for joining us under the sea. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.